again.
Welcome aboard, everybody. It is Monday. It is Back to the Window with Scott and Scott. I am your host, Scott Steen, lead handicapper at WHINERS.com.
And I'm your co-host, Scott Reichel, senior handicapper over WHINERS.com.
And together we do this each and every day, 3 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Central. We do our very best to help you guys get your picks ready so we can all head back to the window together, cash those winning tickets. Scott, anybody that was here early or maybe watching this, they're going to hear how you did this weekend because I hit record before I hit the music. So they got to hear you say how your weekend went. Would you like to reiterate how your weekend went?
Yes, I got my ass kicked over the weekend. It was not a fun time. Not a fun time at all. Didn't even really matter what the sport was. UFC video did not work out well. NASCAR definitely did not work out well. It was actually probably the worst NASCAR race I've ever had because I also live bet Hamlin and I also live bet Byron. And that did not work out. So, no, not good at all.
Good.
And, the Pirates could not score 4 runs against the Reds. So, yeah, that wasn't a fun time either.
Total?
I had 3.5.
Oh, beautiful. Well, is that the game they got to 3?
Yeah, they had 2 runs in the first 2 innings.
Perfect. Yeah. See, and that just shows you how honest we are.
I'm honest, Apparently, I'm so honest. I said it to start the show.
He thought he was off. He thought he was off camera, but then he has to reiterate.
I was gonna repeat it anyway. I mean, you were gonna ask me how did my week go anyway, and I would have given you the same answer.
I know. Yeah, your picks are a little too public to go. Yeah, I had a great weekend. Like, yeah. Back watching your video.
Hit everything that was not recorded. Like, no, that just did not happen. Like, at all. No.
So sometimes that happens. You make live plays, you make plays that are, kind of last minute where you get line moves and you don't put them as part of your public package. But that was not the case for you this weekend, as you missed everything you put in public and you missed everything you bet in private, huh?
Pretty much, yeah.
Happens.
That NASCAR race though was damn Darlington, man. Every car I had crashed. Every one.
And some of them they didn't even need help. Like Kyle Larson just spins. What are you doing, buddy?
He spun out. I know we both had Jones.
Yeah.
He wasn't going to win the race, but he probably would have. He would have finished top 10.
Yeah, he would have cashed our ticket.
He crashed.
Yep.
I had Chastain, who crashed in first place, which wasn't a fun time. And then Hamlin was in first. He crashed. And then he was in first. Then he had some pit issue and whatever. And then Byron, his car fell apart. And Logano bumped him and he spun out. So, yeah, not exactly a good time. Plus, my matchup, Bowman beat Chastain by 1. Both cars blew up, but Byron's car blew up after. So
that went the other way?
I lost my matchup by 1.
Well, I did not. I had Larson, so yeah. I lost it by 1 million.
Yeah.
Lex Steele says, can you do a Doc Brown?
Marty, I got to tell you about your kids, Marty.
I don't want to hear it.
Roads? Where we're going, we don't need roads.
Lex Steele says, great Scott, jumping jiggle. I can't do it either. I can do some voices. I can't do
1.21 gigawatts.
Yeah, all right.
I can't do it either, but it's a lot of good quotes.
Thanks for coming over, Lex. Lex was with us on the last show doing just parlays.
How'd that go?
It was fine. It was good. It was good. Chris really likes the Dodgers, so we got to talk about that game a lot.
By the way, you see that Yankee game?
Is it still nothing?
Yeah, I believe somebody might have talked to you off of a potential farm ledge with that game.
Oh, that's right. I was because
it was also a 1 p.m. game, so we couldn't have done it anyway.
Right.
But I said off air, and he can confirm this. I said the Yankees forgot how to hit again.
He said no,
and they have no runs against John Gray through 6 innings.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, no, I
forgot how to hit. I saw it yesterday.
I like the Yankees on the run line there for sure.
Yeah, they can't hit. I watched it. They completely went back to their old selves of not moving runners over, no clutch hits, only relying on home runs. the 10-plus runs per game for a week, it was a fugazi. They're back to their old selves.
All right. So just to, I want to get it all out of the way up top because I totally forgot all the promos last time. The Monday show, dude, it's just like, it's hard to get back in the groove. So we're going to talk about it here right at the beginning. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Smash that thumbs up. We appreciate the effort. And of course, subscribe not just to our Winners and Wonders YouTube channel, but to the Max Wagers Network YouTube channel as well. If you're looking for more action, I've got a link to my premium plays in the description. Went 3-0 on the premiums yesterday, despite losing the Atlanta Braves Milwaukee Brewers game. That was a frustrating game as Charlie Morton was just fucking dealing.
Yep.
Okay, whatever.
I think the Brewers were in the same boat where they had 1 week where they just hit everything. And it seems like they might be back to their usual 3 runs per game.
Coming into that game, they led the majors in runs.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of it was based on the one series against the Reds where they scored about 90 runs. But they were cooking for a week and a half. It seems like,
and they
similar to the Yankees.
Destroyed right-handers as well.
Yeah, they've fallen just back down to earth, which, it comes in waves. You're going to see that with a bunch of teams, even awful teams. Hell, the Reds have scored like 7 runs in each of the last 2 games. Is that sustainable?
Yeah.
No.
My first thought on that game was to take the over with Ashby on the mound because Ashby just
decent numbers, but historically speaking, not very good.
So many walks. He gave up 9 walks in 9 2/3 innings, and he gave up a shit ton yesterday.
I think I looked up and it was like 9-0 in like the 5th inning.
Yeah, it was brutal. It was brutal. So yeah, that was but again, 3-0 on the premium. So check those out if you're interested. And
the only plays I hit over the weekend were a WNBA gambling podcast. I hit the Dream at plus 280. I hit that, and everything fell apart after that.
Now, I know this was something that you were roasting on Twitter, was the Thug Rose fight.
I had money on her. So I had money on Rose. It was minus 200.
Right.
Closed at minus 230. So I beat a line move there, right in the trash can.
Right in the trash.
And it was the worst fight in the history of the sport.
Okay.
I mean, there's really no way around it.
Don't hold back.
I'm assuming you did not watch it.
I did not.
So the fight before it, the Chandler-Ferguson fight, one of the best knockouts of all time. Did you see that?
I
that
saw
was the kick.
I saw the still shot of it. I've seen
that was the kick. So
okay.
that was one of the best knockouts of all time. The fight after it was the Gaethje Oliveira, one of the craziest first rounds of all time. So you had great finish, worst fight of all time. And I am curious how ESPN is going to break it up when they replay the card in like 5 months. Do you just crop out the 25 minutes of that awful fight? I'm kind of curious what they're going to do.
Now,
but
Nicholas Lee is of the opinion that Thug Rose got robbed. You agree with that?
Robbed is a very strong word for a fighter who did absolutely nothing. Because Rose won round 5. I thought she won round 1. So I'll give her round 1 because even though both fighters landed 3 punches in an entire 5-minute period, at least Rose made her face red in the first round with 1 jab. So I would give Rose round 1 because she did more damage. Round 5, she easily won. In rounds 2, 3, and 4, nobody really did anything, but Esparza went for takedowns. She at least tried to initiate something.
Right.
Rose just didn't do anything. So do I think Rose won the fight? Personally, no. I thought she lost 3-2. Would it have surprised me if Rose got the win? No. Because you're the champion and you're supposed to beat the champ. But nobody did anything. You give it to the fighter with more takedown attempts because at least she tried to do something.
Magellan Sports agrees with your take that was the worst fight in the history of the sport.
It's real. It was, in my opinion, the worst. You can argue based on hype, it was the Lewis Ngannou fight because when you have 2 knockout specialists and they barely throw punches for 15 minutes, that could be considered awful. But it was a 15-minute fight. This was 25, and there was nothing happening for about 4.5 rounds.
Magellan laying out all the alternative nicknames for Thug Rose. I think my favorite is his last one. Fuck up my parlay, Rose.
The worst part of the actual fight, I can't even say was Rose. It was Rose's corner because she has her either husband or fiance or boyfriend in her corner.
Doug Rose?
No, not quite. Pat Berry, actually. Okay. So you got a Rose and a Berry, and they're mixed together. But anyway, you had some of the dumbest advice where they were telling her the entire time, you're good. You know, you can do whatever you want. She's no threat to you. All's good. And I'm like, you're losing every round. What the hell are you talking about? Like, you're clearly losing. And they just told her, like, you keep doing you. And I'm like, no, you're just an idiot. Like, that was the type of performance where even if you're the champion and you have won the belt a couple of times, you should fire the entire coaching staff. Because that was an all-time awful corner advice. All time.
Okay, very good. Hey, don't forget to check out the deal that we got going with our partners over there at Caesars. $1,100 bet insurance, your first bet, first deposit. You basically risk-free bet. If you got something that you're locked in on, you think this is the time to pounce, put some real money on it, there's a great opportunity to do it risk-free. If you win, you win that bet, you're locked in, you're the man. If you lose it, well, Caesars makes it good, like it never happened. So make sure you check that out. There's a code there. ATS wins Caesar, CZR, as WINS, ATS, WIN, CZR, ATS wins Caesar. There you go. And the link and the proper code is in the description. What else we got to talk about? Anything?
We got.
Did I do all the promo stuff?
I think so. You can rip the Kentucky Derby guide in the garbage. We're gonna get back to that in a second. I had no action on it.
Yeah, good for you.
So I know most people take a bath because you're not going to expect the late edition 21 horse to win the Kentucky Derby. That's not exactly an option. In all
the Twitter posts I've seen about this, I've seen one posted winning ticket, and it was somebody who took all on a trifecta
on the first horse.
The
first one. Yeah. Okay.
Yep. Took 1 through 19 and 20 plus 21, and then wheeled them over.
I saw that too. So he skipped 20.
There was no 20. 20 was the reason 21 was in.
Oh, okay.
Ethereal Dreams was bounced. So yeah, that was it was horse 21, even though it came out of there were only 20 horses running, which is just another weird thing. And then he had like 4 horses in second, four horses in third. Cost him $150 for a 50-cent trifecta wheel, I guess that would be, or key, whatever.
Yeah.
And he hit. So other than that, yeah. And we will talk about that a little bit later. But for now, let's talk about what else happened over the weekend. Let's talk about the people who are happy, the people who are sad, the winners, the whiners, the people that took it in the shorts,
me,
and the people that took it to the bank. You know who you are, and now we're about to share it with the world. It is time once again for the Monday edition as we kick off the week with Call the Cops. All right, very good. If you had the Suns Mavericks over 214.5, the other way on that one. Hey, they had 124 in the first half. I thought I was toast. You thought you had a winner if you had the over ticket. Guess what? That game landed 212 as they just needed 101 points in the second half, and they did not get there. They got to 98. That ain't going to do it, kids. If you had the over 214.5, call the cops.
And if you had the under 6.5 in the Wild Blues game, can I interest you in 2 empty netters in the final 2 minutes? And the game landed 7.
FML, as the kids say, Scott. And turning the clock back to Saturday, if you had the Flame Stars under 5.5. Ooh, another empty netter. This time with under a second left to play.
I think it was 0.1. I think.
Oh, call the cops.
Yeah, landed 6.
And if you had any of the horses recommended in any betting guide you found anywhere on the internet, at any store, any publication, call the cops. You didn't win.
Mm-hmm. But did you win any bets in the? Do you bet the races before the Derby, or you're just a one race guy?
No, I was just I like last year I went to a track up in Iowa and we bet, and I bet all the races there. But this year I just we had shit going on all day long. Had to go to a graduation party. Had to go to a Mother's Day thing at my mother-in-law. So
congratulations
on what?
Graduation party?
Oh, it wasn't for any of my. It was for a friend.
Oh, then I don't care. Okay.
Yeah, no, my kids they're all fucking gone, dude. They're all graduated. It's all good. But there was some good news out there. There was some people that had some nice easy wins. I don't know who you are, but congratulations, because you were pretty much spent your weekend kicked back in the rocking chair.
Well, the first one is the most consistent moneymaker in the last, 3-4 years, because I believe they're 17-0 now. But off a loss, the Lightning money line is kind of free money because they won again against the Maple Leafs. They led 3-0 after the first period, and they won 7-3. I believe they're 17-0 in their last 17 off a loss in the playoffs.
Yeah, they are fantastic. And
well, they're not fantastic. They're unbeatable. They're unbeatable off a loss.
Well, and not a small part of that is because of their goaltending.
Of course, but when you're up 3-0 and you score a goal 1 minute in, it just seemed like they flipped the switch and Toronto just checked in for the entire night.
Yep, absolutely correct. Next up on the board, if you had the Rays and the Mariners over 7.5, under 7.5. That's right. U stands for under, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
It was tied 1-1 after 9 innings. Sure, you could take a bad beat and have something shitty happen in extra innings, but it didn't. They scored 1 run, and the game landed 3. Congratulations if you had the under. Nice, easy win.
And the last one, if you had the Mavericks +3 against the Suns yesterday, or to be honest, if you just had a home team in the NBA the entire weekend, you did really well because the Mavericks +3 was never in doubt, led by 12 at the half, and they won by 10.
Let's be honest. If you had a home team anytime in the playoffs so far, you've been in pretty good shape. I know Von Tobel has posted those stats. I think they're 16-3.
I was going to say round 1, you had a couple of road teams win. Like road wins were somewhat common in round 1. Round 2, there's barely been anything.
Yeah, I think I literally think it's like something like 16-3. It's an incredible stat.
Well, most let me just think about that for a second, because most of these series have already played 3 or 4 games.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, it kind of checks out.
All right, very good. And I'm going to go right in the face of that tonight. I've got Boston. So
okay,
that's my play of the day.
Actually, I like the under in that game, but
yeah, that's solid too.
That was one of the only plays I hit this weekend. I hit the Bucks team total under 107.5, and I almost lost because it almost went to overtime.
Yep,
but they missed 7 putbacks, so it got home.
Brutal. All right, Scott. Well, we got to talk about this, and we did touch on it a little bit, but we really have to mention this because there was just one, and I'm not sure this isn't. Not only of the day, but perhaps of the year. Hey, let's find out who could it be. Who could it be now? Let's get ready to blow our favorite music drop and learn today's gambling hero of the day. Trying to talk to my family about getting that music played whenever I walk into a room.
Nice.
It's not going.
That should just be your alarm clock.
Time to get up and face my kingdom.
Yep.
So we touched on it a little bit, Scott. If you had Rich Strike to win the Kentucky Derby,
number 21
in a field of 20 horses, congratulations, you had a nice payday. He went off at about 80-1, and that's to win. I was trying to find the prices here for the
I think it was a 10-cent superfecta for 137 grand.
No, the dollar superfecta paid 321.
321,000?
321,000.
Okay.
That's right, Scott. Quick reminder to everybody, I will be talking about this until the day I die. I dominated the Kentucky Derby last year. I had the top 4 horses. I did not bet the superfecta, but I had them called on the radio show. And I hit the trifecta, hit the exacta. I had bet across the board on 2 of the top 3 horses. I fucking cleaned up. And what did we learn? I picked the wrong year to do that, Scott, because this would have been the year to do it, as Rich Strike paid $163.60 to win, $74.20 to place, $29.40 to show. So that gets you about $247 if you'd have just bet $2 across the board. But it gets better If you've got the $2 exacta, like I had last year, $4,100. Dollar trifecta, 14 grand. Dollar superfecta with simplification thrown in there. A horse that I was actually on, I did have simplification. That paid $321,500 on a dollar. On a dollar, Scott.
No. Mm-hmm. Horse racing is a place where you lose a lot of money, but all it takes is one.
It takes one like that, man. Unbelievable. Yeah. That was a fantastic race.
Truth is that if you were a lunatic that actually had Rich Strike winning, then your exacta and your try were probably going to be in decent shape anyway, because the two favorites finished second and third.
Yeah. Can you imagine if you sneak in like a 10 to 1?
Throw a 10 to 1 in there or whatever.
Right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It'd have been $500,000 probably.
But you went from longest shot, favorite, second favorite. So if you actually had Rich Strike winning, which of course was impossible, but if you had that, the rest of your try was probably easy. Can I say that?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it almost had to be an all box.
Yeah, pretty much.
On top.
Well, you were going to have to box that. There's no way you're going to only take Rich Strike to win with it. I just don't see that happening.
Hey, Rangers got a hit, Scott.
They did. Okay.
So
truth is, people were talking about Cortez with a no-hitter. He's also at 103 pitches. There's no way they would have kept him in anyway. So good run. The Yankees can't score anyway. So there you go.
All right, very good. Yeah, win, place, and show. If only would have boxed him. Yeah, no shit. The only one moving forward was the winner. All horses were holding on.
It felt that way. I mean, Rich Strike came from the back. The seas parted, and he just hit the burners.
Well, I thought it was the one of the best rides I've ever seen.
Oh no, it was. I'm just saying, based on how he timed it.
Yes.
It seemed like all the horses in front of him just split.
Yep.
And then he just immediately went through.
Well, you had the one, he got to the rail. He got to the rail late, was accelerating, and then you had that horse drop back, which gave him a shot to go back to the outside and come up, and then go back to the inside, and then come up the stretch. And they called him, I read about him, and they called him a deep closer, and that is a very apt description.
Yeah, it was Mariano.
I also saw a great tweet, and I don't have any proof this is true at all. It was just a funny tweet. It said, Rich Strike said Snoop Dogg has a better chance of passing a drug test than Rich Strike. So, again, I'm not making any accusations. I'm just pointing out that was a very funny tweet.
Now, this might seem like a bad question, but I do have to ask. Since he was that big of a long shot to win the Kentucky, what are his odds in the Preakness? Because you had no Baffert horses.
Right. Well, you did. They were transferred. You had Baffert horses that just weren't trained.
They weren't fully prepped.
Right.
So we'll say that. So the point is that you have that big of a long shot. I'm assuming there was an over adjustment, right? Or is the horse just great and nobody knew?
Well, it's gonna depend on who runs, who skips it. If you've got a lot of the same favorites, I can't imagine him being much better than, I don't know, 8 to 1. Yeah. Okay. Maybe.
Once again, it depends on how many horses actually go, but you're also going to get horses, maybe Bafferts, that were not allowed in the Kentucky, and now they're going to be able to go through. Messier was a Bob horse, but I thought he wasn't able to fully train the horse.
He was not. No.
So if you throw Messier back out there with Baffert actually around, does that make a difference? I don't know.
He had to transfer him to Tim, whatever the guy's name was.
Whatever the hell. Timberwolf horse racing.
What did we miss? Did James S. ask us a question? Just what the hell, Scott?
I have no idea.
Sounds like my wife.
I mean, if you want to talk about how I did over the weekend, I agree. It's fine.
Yep. That horse will be 15 to 1, says Magellan Sports.
See, I don't know if he means the horse that just won Rich Strike or he means Messier.
I think he means Rich Strike.
I'm assuming so. Money's going to pour on him anyway.
Yeah.
Because people who know nothing about horse racing want to bet the Triple Crown anyway. So that the most bet horse is going to be Rich Strike. So no matter what the opening line is, I'm assuming he's going to close to 5 to 1, 5 to 1, 4 to 1, whatever, because all the random college kids who show up for the Preakness are going to all bet on Rich Strike.
Yeah, you're probably right, buddy.
That was probably the most underrated part of the Belmont every year, which I'm going to again this year. A lot of college kids, like a bunch of college kids, who go to the actual event itself.
Can you bet at 18 on the horse track?
I believe so.
Okay.
But there's a lot of like you can tell like, oh, these guys are like sophomores. Like there's a lot of them going around. It's a much younger crowd than what you would expect.
But is it really affecting the pool when they're just betting $2 across the board?
I don't know how much they are betting. Some of them got trust funds.
Oh, good point. Yeah.
But I really don't know. But I'm not sure if it fully matters. But when you see that many, and there's a lot of money that's going to come in on Rich Strike.
Yeah, Magellan talking about in the pari-mutuel will definitely be below 10-1 at close, and that's
which once again goes back to my point I said before the race. Whether you actually win or lose, try to find some fixed odds, because for the main three, you will find books with fixed odds. And of course, sometimes it can go up, but usually if the odds go up, the horse is probably going to lose anyway. At least in my experience.
Right.
So I feel like if you're going to go for a horse like that, like Rich Strike, bet him now, because whatever odds are available, the pari-mutuel is going to kill those odds.
Yeah, I had Messier locked in at a pretty good price, but it
was he 8-1 and he closed at like 5?
Yeah, I had him at plus 650.
Okay, but he opened at like 8. So yep. There you go.
And I also had I think I had Epicenter at plus 400, which was a little bit of value from I think he went off at 350.
I think he was 350 when he closed.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, so we got a little value there, but yeah, it didn't really matter. The track don't care how old you are, as long as you have the money to take in your action.
All I'm saying is I don't know how old most of those people are, but there's a lot of colored water bottles in the parking lot. That's all I'm saying. Just
colored water bottles?
Because they put alcohol in the water bottles and they're chugging in the parking lot.
Oh, okay. Okay. Good times. You're not gonna be drinking, are you?
At the Belmont? Of course I'm gonna be drinking. Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Come on. I mean, each beer in there is like $10. They give you a small can. Like it's a sealable can, but it's like $10-12 a piece. But yeah, I'm gonna go with some friends. We'll probably use the water bottle method or something, and yeah, we'll have a good time.
You're gonna come to KC this weekend to see the NASCAR race?
I'll come if you help me move my stuff.
We'll bring it with you.
Yeah, okay.
I'll bring your stuff with you.
Are you going to the NASCAR race?
I don't know, man. I'm going to 3 concerts this week, and
nice.
I may not be able to.
Cover bands or
no? I'm going to see. I'm going to see a red dirt country band named Reckless Kelly on Wednesday night, and then I'm going to go see a stringed quartet at the Opera House in Kansas City play the music of Queen, which I think will be fun on Friday.
Okay.
Then I'm going to go see Thorogood on Saturday night. George Thorogood.
Bad to the Bone.
Do. Yeah, we got some killer tickets for that.
I didn't know he was still touring.
I didn't either, bud. Got to be honest with you, but he is, and this is probably the guy my wife and I have seen him the most together. Probably seen him 4 or 5 times, so it'll be fun. But then, then the race is Sunday, and I'm not so sure that I'm not going to be a little tuckered out to go out and fight that, because that's a whole day thing. You park 8 miles away, and then you walk in and you party.
You show up, you stand, you wait for each band in between sets to show up and get ready. And
I meant the race. I
thought you meant the concerts.
No,
sorry.
Concerts will be fine.
Okay.
Plus, we'll probably have. I'm going to take advantage of all the rides I gave my kids. So whenever my wife and I go anywhere where we might drink, we always make one of the kids fucking drive us.
Nice. Designated drivers.
Yes, that's the way it works, bud. I'm way too old to get a DUI. I'm way too pretty.
You're way too old, and you're not the general manager of the Mets.
No, very true. Very, very true.
That doesn't work out. Jim's saying that Badford will not be at any of the Triple Crown races. First of all, hey Jim, how's it going? Thanks for stopping by. I was not aware he was not available to go to all 3. I was pretty sure he was not able to go to the Preakness 2. I thought maybe the Belmont, maybe.
You want to show Jim what you got in the mail today?
I did. I got new headphones in the mail today. So it was actually weird. It was supposed to show up Wednesday, and Amazon sent me an email saying it's coming early. I'm like, do you want me to tip you or something? Like, thanks. Like, all right, cool, thanks. Whatever. So it came early, and I have to get it all, ready to go.
Thanks, Jeff. Speaking of coming in the mail, I don't think I told you this. Bronco Devil that's in the comment section?
Yeah.
He sent me a Royals hat. Like
nice.
A brand new 47, like a beautiful hat. But there was no card or anything that it was attached to where I knew where it came from. So it just randomly showed up like Wednesday last week. And I was like,
how do you know it was from him?
He told me. He said it in the comments. Okay. He finally put it in the comments. He goes, hey, I'm surprised you haven't worn my hat yet. I'm like, fuck, I didn't know that was you. I was a little worried about I was a little worried about where that hat came from. So
That's the one mistake you got to make, whether you're committing a crime or whether you're actually giving a gift. You got to leave a calling card.
either way, you get like some kind of signature move or something.
Mm-hmm.
So again, I said it on the last show, but I will say it this time. Thanks very much, Bronco Devil, for sending me a hat. And I noticed Scott. See, there's a difference between you and Chris, because I told Chris this story on the last show, and Chris said, "How do you find your address?" And you, being 23 years old, 24 years old, you did not ask that question because you knew
it's on the internet.
It's on the internet. Exactly.
There were a couple of times, I think last year, I think it might have been during college football season. Somebody messaged me like to roast my picks on LinkedIn, of all places.
Nice.
And I'm just like, I mean, my resume's on there. So if you really wanted to you can find anything on the internet if you really dig hard enough.
Yeah.
Plus, I'm assuming that you probably have had a conversation with him or something in the past, or at least he's a trustworthy guy. So you're not exactly worried about it.
Right.
But in today's day and age, you can really find anything you want on the internet, for better or worse.
That's when I was worried when I get on like a losing streak or something. I just have to fucking check out my window.
Yeah.
The next thing that gets sent to me may not be a hat. So Jim says a lot of young fans bet on the Preakness as well.
Yeah.
Drunk City.
Yes, it is.
You gonna wear that hat for Bet the Farm? No, I don't want to show Reichel up.
I don't think I'm gonna wear the farm hat to the Derby though. So
that'd be fantastic.
Be a mood and a half. You know, my friend actually, my roommate wants to go for, I don't know, some BS fedora. So we'll see what we got. So we'll figure something out. I'll wear some type of blazer, the usual. And
you're gonna wear a blazer?
I wear blazers to the Belmont.
No shit.
I do. Yeah.
Look at you getting all dolled up.
It's also like 85 degrees, so it's kind of mixed opinions. But whatever. I don't wear a tie, but I'll wear a blazer and a whatever.
Oh, fat man in a blazer. That ain't happening. I'm not doing it. No, sorry. But good for you going for style.
Thank you. I do my best.
I'm built for comfort. Not
if I'm going to lose my money, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it looking fashionably comfortable.
There you go. You talk to any women at those races? You got a little single women wearing their fancy hats?
Something like that. It's usually pretty cliquey, to be honest, because most of the people that are my age, so to speak, are usually with either sorority sisters or fraternity people, and they have a whole on like crew.
Got to pick them off, buddy.
I know you got to pick them off. Yeah, I know.
All right, very good. So let's talk about tonight. What do you got? Let's start off in the I don't know. You start off in the NBA. We've got a couple games we touched. We touched on one of them. You like the under in the Boston-Milwaukee game.
I don't like the over in the Boston-Milwaukee game. I mean, it's a 4 to 100 every game.
And I talked about this in the last show. I mean, it wouldn't stun me if they went for 220 because, both of the teams are, certainly capable offensively, but both of these defenses have just been rock solid. Milwaukee, every game in the playoffs has gone under so far. So I'm not getting in front of that. Both of these teams are giving up less than 100 points a game. So even if one of them breaks through for 110,
we already saw that because we had one team break through for like 100 and the other team scored 80 something points. I mean,
right.
So I like the under there. If you want to go for a bit of a long shot play on that game, if you want to go really, really nuts, I don't mind overtime. Overtime is around 13 to 1.
Okay.
I don't mind that. The spread's basically a pick 'em, and these teams are pretty close.
I think if they play that game 14 times, it goes to overtime more than once.
And you've already seen 3 that have not gone to overtime, even though game 3, I don't want to say should have went to overtime, but you get 2 put-back layup attempts there. You can make an argument it should have went to overtime.
Sure, absolutely. Nicholas Lee, also a fan of getting this. Just do a light dress shirt, like a white and a black blazer, and some black dress shoes.
That's pretty much what I go with.
Black belt. And,
fedora optional, but I go with the shades, and ready to go.
The hottest outfit out there. Yeah, literally.
Yeah, literally, because it's 85 degrees and I'm in a black blazer.
Very good. Very good. And you got a feeling on the side in this game?
I am going to go with Boston in this one.
Okay.
At the end of the day, it was really a difficult game to fully evaluate because Giannis had 40 points, but Milwaukee only scored 101 or 103, I mean. And you can make an argument that there should have been a lot more offensive foul calls on Giannis down the stretch.
Right.
But the Celtics attempted like the final 17 free throws of the game. So I don't know what to fully make of the situation because it seemed like Boston was getting a bunch of calls at the end of the game that I don't know if they deserved, mostly Jaylen Brown. But realistically, do I expect Tatum to go 4 for 19 again? No. Do I think Drew Holiday's going to stink again? Potentially. But if you can somewhat contain Giannis and hold him to 35, you keep everyone else in check, and Tatum just does not shoot awful, you should win the game.
Now, are you kind of in the same camp that I am, that sometimes this Milwaukee offense looks a little stagnant without Middleton?
Oh, no, it just is stagnant.
Okay.
It just is. You can look at the entire fourth quarter. They didn't know what the hell they were doing. Now, of course, Giannis had a couple of, I'm trying to think of the right player, Jamal Lewis moves, where he just trucked the defender and then ended up hitting a layup. Drew Holiday had that floater at the end, which I thought he clearly pushed off on Smart. And then he had a floater on the loose ball. But for the most part, Milwaukee down the stretch relied on a bunch of contested shots from Holiday and Connaughton, and none of them went in. So do I like their offense overall? Not really. If Middleton was playing in this series, Milwaukee would probably win in 6. But the half-court offense, with Holiday being the main option when you double-team Giannis, not a very good second option.
Jim asking about Tampa Bay La Angels tonight, buddy. Angels minus 137.5 is the number. Syndergaard goes for the Halos against the youngster, Jeff Springs, for the Tampa Bay Rays. Jeffrey, don't call me Jeff, Spring. Mm-hmm. You a fan here? You think you're getting a good price on the Angels at minus 130?
I do not.
Okay.
I think that you're getting a better price on the Rays. The Rays were doing well over the weekend. They won a bunch in a row. They ended up losing yesterday to the Mariners on a walk-off. But for me, the Rays just find ways to manufacture games. And we saw the same thing happen when they were against Gilbert the other night. All you have to do is hang around. They're going to throw in a bunch of random openers and random pitchers you don't really know. And you know that over a 9-inning period, they will get to the bullpen. The bullpen will really stop the bleeding, and they'll find a way to win games. And this seems like a game where the Angels, if you want to bet, take the first 5. And then as soon as Syndergaard comes out of the game, I expect the Angels bullpen to implode.
Well, they're not good. They're not good. The good news is they're better than they were last year.
That counts for something.
They're 3.48 overall, but they've been bad at home, giving up.
Do you want to lay 135 against the Rays? I think if you're going to do it, take the first 5.
Yeah. I think that would be the play. Get involved with the starters and not the bullpen for sure. This is a Rays team that like you said, has been playing pretty good baseball. Won 6 of their last 7. Angels won 4 of their last 5. They've been playing good as well. Actually, have a better record than the Rays by half a game.
That's right. That was actually one thing I did well on. I swept the Clark plays over the weekend.
Very good. Justo Bankroll says the zigzag theory. Boston's max bet tonight. Been a lot of zigzag theory going on in these playoffs, both hockey and the NBA.
Zigzag usually involves the home team. So the point is that if you have 2 games in one place and 2 games in the other, isn't zigzag usually the first 2 games and the second 2 games? Then as soon as they alternate 1-1-1-1.
I thought it was alternating all the way through.
Is it?
I thought so, but
I always thought the zigzag was based on teams that lost on the road that are now playing at home.
Well, I got to tell you, the zigzag I'm mostly familiar with comes in an orange package. So.
Not the way that I zigzag. But, I mean, the way that I see it is Boston played as badly as you could, and they were still in it. They were getting buried, and they ended up coming back and almost winning the game. Are they going to win this game? I think it's very close, and that's why I think overtime at 13-1 is not a bad long shot, so to speak. But if Tatum even goes 5 for 19, they win the game. So, yeah, I'll go with Boston.
I'm just trying to read the zigzag theory here. All right, so the zigzag theory kind of is dependent on, like, if the home team is get upset in the first game, they're a lock for the second game.
But it usually revolves around the home team.
But when the higher seed, so it's kind of both. When the higher seeded team leads the series 2-0 and must go on the road, perfect spot to beat the lower seeded team. So we're really kind of both right, depending on how the outcome goes.
That's the home team.
If the visiting team wins the first game, it's going to go every other game.
Mm-hmm.
If the home team wins the first 2, then it goes series by series. So.
And the home team won game 1 of this series, right?
Yes.
I rest my case.
When Calvin Griffith owned the Twins, bought a case of beer, poured it in a round cooler, walked away, right? No problems. Okay. Tatum over under 5.5 rebounds plus 110.
I'll tell you the one player I was looking at for rebounds, and I feel like it's an obvious choice. It's got to be Al Horford, right? I mean, Horford's been great.
He's been fantastic.
I believe he had 15 rebounds last game.
Yep.
I find it a pretty weird situation for Robert Williams, who, of course, was the main center for this team. But he really has not seen the floor that much in this series. He's been there on occasion.
Right.
To go through like the last couple of games, I mean, he had 16 rebounds in 39 minutes. He's the main Giannis defender, and you go through the games here, he's had a double-double in every game. So if you want to go for like an Al Horford double-double or something, I think it's a decent price.
I agree. As far as Tatum rebounds go, how do you feel about that?
Let me just get back to that in a second. Like, for example, Horford rebounds tonight are roughly 8.5.
Okay.
That's too low. I mean, you're walking into double-doubles in each of the first 3 games. Like, that should be higher. As for Tatum at 5.5 at plus money, I don't hate it. But once again, it depends on how much Williams is going to play. You have Horford out there. Tatum has really not been great rebounding in this series. He had 6 in game 1. Yep. He had 3 in game 2, and then 1 in game 3. And he played 41 minutes.
He's only gone over 5.5, and I was looking to see here. Is it just one time? Yeah, he's gone over 5.5 twice in 7 games.
If you have a 1 rebound in 41 minutes, I'm not taking the over in your rebounds the next game.
No, I got to play the under there.
I'm leaning under. I would not touch it, but I would lean the under.
Okay. Very good. And in the Memphis Golden State teams, 10 too many to lay. We all right with 10?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that? What about 10?
Memphis Golden State laying 10. You all right with 10?
Are they better without Ja?
Well, that's the
thing.
Are
we opening up this conversation again?
Well, it is, and it's a conversation that we need to have, and we had it in the last hour, but they were 20-5 in the regular season without Ja, but they've been terrible in the playoffs without Ja. So which Memphis team shows up here, bud?
Golden State's not going to shoot that well again. They shot like hell 90% from the floor in the entire game. They couldn't miss a shot the entire game.
There's a bold prediction.
They scored 142 points. That's not going to happen again.
Kind of fucked the farm, didn't it?
It did. It really, really did. But the point is that I do think they'll come back down to earth. You have Brooks back in the lineup. So if Ja's out, I actually don't mind a Dylan Brooks over in points. Not because he's any good, but because he'll never stop shooting. Right. So, and Bane is still a little bit banged up. So if you're looking for who might embrace a bigger offensive role, it would be Brooks. So if you want to go for a player prop, I wouldn't mind him. As for the actual spread itself, if you want an underdog play, I like the Grizzlies' first quarter. A little bit of Ewing theory mixed with Golden State being terrible in the first quarter of the entire playoffs. It's around 2-1. I don't hate it.
Okay. So just play the money line plus 200, you're saying?
For the first quarter, I think you can make an argument that Memphis without Ja might come out with a purpose. You know, we'll win this one for our fallen teammate, whatever. And Golden State's gotten off to some really bad starts.
Yeah, you're right. They have they played with their food a little bit there in the first quarter. Somebody talking about Ja may come back tonight. He's still listed officially as doubtful. So, now what do you think about?
I don't think he's going to play.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
You were going to ask, do I think it was a dirty play?
Yeah.
I do not. I think that everything looks dirtier in slow motion. Do I think that Poole had the presence of mind while the ball was loose to grab the guy's kneecap? No. I think he reached for the ball. He didn't get it. He pushed his hand back, and it just so happened to hit his knee. Yeah, it didn't look that bad to me. Plus, if somebody yanks on your knee, has anyone ever gotten injured that way? Because I've never seen somebody yank a kneecap off.
Takes a pretty special shot to do that.
I'm saying it did not look like Jordan Poole used enough torque to intentionally rip off his ACL. I think it was an accident. I think he aggravated it even worse on that Klay Thompson, contested 3 where he kind of banged the knees at the end. Yeah. So did I think it was intentional? No. I think that Ja handled it terribly when he basically accused Poole of being a dirty player and then deleted the tweet because he realized he sounded like an idiot. But do I think it was intentional? No. I think in slow motion it looked bad, but in live time, The puck was loose. Not the puck. The ball was loose. He made a play, 40 missed.
Yep,
It happens.
agreed.
Do you think he's a dirty player? Because Poole, I don't think has ever had a dirty play in his career up to that point.
Nicholas Lee says the Memphis could come out tough because of that injury. Made me a little salty. You agree?
That's what I think. For the first quarter, they might be a little bit motivated. Over 48, I assume Golden State's going to win.
Right.
But for 12, I don't mind it.
Jim wants to know what your thoughts on Barry Trotz being fired.
My thoughts: he's a great coach. He's a Hall of Famer. Now, do I think the Islanders should have fired him? No, because I think Trotz is the best coach that they've had since Arbor. I mean, he's an all-time great coach. I also don't know why they got rid of Lamoriello, because he was a very, very good GM, but Lamoriello's also old. They came out of retirement from the Devils from like a decade prior, so I guess he just had better things to do.
Right.
But I don't know. It seems to me. Oh, sorry. Lamoriello kept his job. They got rid of Trotz. So I guess they just thought that his voice got a little bit tiresome. But would I have fired him? Absolutely not. Okay. It's his fault that half the team got COVID to start the year, and you started your season with 14 straight games on the road. Like, no. This team made the Eastern Conference Finals 2 of the last 3 years. I would not have fired him. And whichever team gets him is going to get a hell of a head coach. I have nothing bad to say about Trotz. He's a tremendous hockey coach.
Okay. All right. Very solid. Give me your one favorite baseball or hockey play from tonight, and then we'll get rolling on our farm.
But we'll go through hockey. I had a play today on the over in the Rangers and Penguins game at 6. I mean, 6 for a push with those offenses. Yeah. I mean, you've really seen a bunch of high-scoring games in that series. So I do like the over, not to mention the overtime draw and whatever the hell the empty net shenanigans are in the final 3 minutes of these playoff games. I'm not taking an under in that series. But as for the other games here, I think Colorado sweeps. It's a very interesting situation because the starting goalie for the Avalanche had that really fluky injury. So Kemper might not be playing. They might be using Francouz, who's okay. And I'm not sure if Saros is back. I don't believe he's back. So you're probably looking at Ingram again. Do you think they're getting swept? Because I don't know what Nashville can do. They're just outmatched at every single position.
I love looking at a live play here because I think if they get down 2-0 after the first period, I would load up all kinds of alternative lines.
I think my favorite play in that game, Ingram is in net. I would take the over in saves. I cashed the over in saves for game 2. I would just do it again. Even giving up 7 goals in the last game, a couple empty netters, but you get the idea. He still went over. Look at the actual shots on goal for Colorado in every game of that series. They're pushing like 40.
Mm-hmm.
They get a bunch of shots on net, and if Saros is injured, they're not going to bring Rittich in off the bench. He gave up 5 goals and like 13 shots in game 1. So it's going to be Ingram's game, even if he's awful. As long as he doesn't give up 4 goals in the first period, he should be able to hang in there. I don't mind the over in saves.
Rangers money line and over 5.5 boosted to plus 390.
It's a game the Rangers need to have. Now, my question for you is, Shesterkin is going to win the Vezina. He was the best goalie in the regular season. Now, he got pulled in the last game because he gave up 4 goals on 15 shots in the first period. Do you think he starts this game?
Yes.
And do you think that he will bounce back?
Yes.
Or do you think playing on the road again might cause another lackluster performance?
No. I think he rallies. I think he's got too much talent to have 2 shitty games like that in a row.
I think he'll rally by giving up about 3 goals.
Okay.
But the Rangers' defense, especially against the Crosby line, has been so awful that I feel like both goalies have been kind of just been hung out to dry for most of these goals. Because if you actually watch those games, there's a lot of odd man rushes all the time.
Yes.
These teams defensively are not very disciplined.
No, they're letting them have too many easy chances.
So I'm going to go with the over.
Thanks, Andrew. Appreciate the compliment. Okay. Hey, it's about that time, bud. You ready?
Yep.
All right. Give me Colorado, Nashville. Colorado closes it out. You like the Rangers and the Florida, Washington. Who wins?
Florida, Washington. I'm going with Florida.
Okay. Thank you.
But they lost 6-1 last game, so I don't know.
Okay. Calgary, Dallas.
I'm going with the under.
Okay.
The game only went over because of an empty netter with 0.1. They've been very low-scoring games. I'll take the under.
All right. Very solid. All right, my friend, it is time. We talked a little bit about our Golden State going out there and standing on their head on Friday night, or Saturday rather, kind of cost us the farm, but it's ready to get rocking and rolling here. Let's do it, buddy. It's Monday. It's time to put on your good Monday overalls, get out that straw hat, strap it on your head, climb aboard your John Deere, and get ready, kids, because it is time once again to bet the farm. All right, brother. There it is. Good afternoon, everybody. It's
Ma'am.
it's a nice farm setup. So, Scott, we've talked about this. Was brought up literally the first play that was brought up in the last show that I did with Chris, and I said, well, we may talk about that a little bit later. And here it is, folks. The bet the farm play is going to be the Los Angeles Dodgers on the run line minus the 1.5. And why would we make such a play, you might ask? Well, Dodgers are playing really good baseball. By the way, the juice on this is about minus 137, even minus 140 now. Do not let that fear you. Do not be afraid of that number. That's it's fine. If you want to play the alternative run line on this, get some positive money. I don't even hate that, because the Dodgers, they have won their last 6 games by at least 3 runs. So if you wanted to lay 2.5, that wouldn't be the end of the world either. But we're not trying to get out over our skis here too much. We're trying to get a win, and that's why we're just going to take the regular run line. But Jose Urias is pitching for Los Angeles. His last 4 starts have been outstanding, 22 innings pitched and just 2 runs. Jose Quintana is going for Pittsburgh, and the Dodgers batters, well, they've seen him quite a bit, and they've hit him quite a bit, as they have a .407 on-base percentage in 101 career plate appearances against him. And finally, the Dodgers, well, they play pretty well there by the Three Rivers, because they are 12-2 in the last 14 meetings in Pittsburgh. We like the Dodgers quite a bit here to continue to roll. They've been playing very good baseball, and I don't think anything slows them down tonight. So give us the Los Angeles Dodgers on the run line, minus 1.5 at minus 137. That's going to do it for Bet the Farm. Scott, any thoughts?
The Pirates lost a series to the Reds. Do we need to say more?
Scandalous.
Do we need to say more? Like, they got blown out in 2 separate games against the Reds.
NL Central, worst division in baseball, and it's not even close.
Yeah, but the Brewers are pretty good.
Brewers are pretty good. Cardinals are pretty good, and that's it.
Yep, which we knew going in.
That's exactly right. So, guys, that's going to do it for Bet the Farm. That's going to do it for our show for this very fine Monday. Looks like the rain's finally gone. Much of America should have a beautiful day. Hope you guys enjoy it. Get out there, have some fun, and you get a little vitamin D in your system. It's not going to be the end of the world. It won't kill you. Get out of here. Get out of there. Have you been out of your house yet, Scott?
I have.
All right. Beautiful. Beautiful. You guys have a great day. Thanks for joining us. We do this every day. Make sure you check out Chris and I at 2 p.m. doing just parlays, and then 3 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Central, as we do this each and every day. Scott and I will put on our fancy hats and do our very best to help you guys in that never-ending journey